Before I began doing the storytime animatic illustrations and lazymations for the channel, as many of you probably know, I was an animator, and I animated my character OCs to various things, making my own videos, memes, dance loops, collabs, etc. Because I animated mainly cats, other than being labeled a furry, which I'm not, I began to be labeled as a Warriors animator. And for those who don't know what Warriors is, and if you don't, I'm going to be very surprised. It's a book series about cats. Many people make animations about the series and certain scenes and their characters. Heck, I think a lot of well-known animators today got their start with Warriors animations. But despite perhaps trying to do something Warriors related maybe 2 or 3 times in the past, you will see on my list there is no Warriors-related videos except one. My cat genetics special, where essentially I was pretty negative towards the entire thing. And why should I be negative? I've never read the books. How should I know? Well, let me tell you, I've tried. I got a few chapters into the first book, and I didn't like it. Whoa, hold on. I said I didn't like it. I didn't say I hated it. There's a difference. The only reason I'm familiar with some of the plots from the Warriors series is through the animations people have made. But that's not the same, right? Why didn't I like it? Well, firstly, the books weren't written for me. I will be 28 in July. These books were written for pre-teen to teen, maybe as young as 10 years old? Literature aimed at younger audiences have a different language than literature aimed at my age, the adult or young adult category. When I tried to read Into the Wild, I was around 22, 23, and honestly, I couldn't stand the way things were worded in the book. And that's not really a hate thing towards the book itself. I just personally hate being talked to like a child. And the book was assuming that I'm a child or a teenager. And some young adults can read literature like that and be fine with it. I just can't stand it personally. I have been talked to like a child a lot, and I've met people whose career is centered around teaching very young children, and they use that same teaching voice when teaching adults, and I hated it. But I haven't read the full first book. How do I know it's talking to me like that? Hey, I may not have read Warriors growing up. I didn't know it existed until I was 16, and I was trying to read trendy books like Aragon. I did grow up reading a book series that is a little similar to the Warriors series, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. I loved this series as much as many kids and teens love Warriors today. I bought all of the main books while I was in school, and those books are probably still in my childhood room. And a couple years back, I decided I wanted to try and read those books again. But my nostalgic pink-tinted glasses immediately fell off my face when I began reading. It had the same language as the Warriors, talking to me like I was a child. And my enjoyment for the series stopped almost immediately. I got through a few chapters and I just had to stop. I couldn't keep reading anymore, and honestly, it made me sad. This was a series I loved, and now I could no longer read it and revisit the enjoyment I had as a child. I grew up. And now comes the part where I think many of you are waiting for. The genetics and the weird colorings. The issue about genetics and colorings in the series is honestly a minor one in all reality. The authors are just going through what makes sense to them and kids. Oh, this cat's red when the others in the family are black. Well, that's because the cat's grandmother was also red. And hey, let's throw in a black and brown cat that's not a tabby, male calicos that reproduce, a cat with a pinkish tail, and multiple cats that have blue eyes that are not deaf. That makes sense! I used to be very good at suspending my disbelief in many forms of media. And then I met Robin, who can't enjoy a lot of things I enjoy because he finds too many things wrong or unbelievable, and his attitude has rubbed off on me. And I can tell you, the day I noticed this, I was watching Finding Dory. During the scene, Marlin and Nemo were trying to get into the aquarium by jumping in various amounts of water, and I immediately called bullcrap on that because I knew the clownfish are saltwater fish and they were in fresh water. There's no way a saltwater fish could swim normally in a mop bucket of fresh water unless somehow the bucket had salt water, and why would they use salt water to mop the floor? In order for my suspension of disbelief to happen, the world being created has to be believable enough to be either a subsection of our current world or a completely different world. Why I was getting upset with Finding Dory was because we were supposed to believe that this is our world. I can believe that animals can talk because animals can communicate in their own way, and we're just personifying them to be able to talk like people. But we know aquatic animals cannot drive a truck or jump from saltwater to freshwater and be completely fine. The Owls of Ga'Hoole series was able to help me believe the world these owls were in because it was implied that humans used to exist and now they don't. Therefore, these owls were living in a post-apocalyptical world. Warriors, on the other hand, does not suspend my disbelief enough to make me believe it's a separate world or a subsection of our current world for those wonky genetics to work. And, maybe I got spoiled with children's media today. It seems like the most well-loved TV series that were initially aimed at children were loved because they gave the ability for adults to also enjoy the content. There is so much thought put in the shows like My Little Pony, DuckTales reboots, Steven Universe, Avatar The Last Airbender, Gravity Falls, that my expectation for children's entertainment has risen. Therefore, my displeasure of the unrealistic genetics probably stems from that. Plus, the series is not made for adults. It's made for children. Why study the way cat genetics work if children aren't going to care anyways? I don't hate the series. Just because I can't enjoy it doesn't mean I loathe it. If Rubel comes to me one day and brings home Into the Wild and asks me to read it, I'm not going to be like, "Get that card out of my face!" I'm not that heartless. I'm going to be the mature adult and mother, and I will read him the book. What matters most is that he, the targeted demographic, enjoys it. Will I inform him of the messed up genetics? Maybe when he's older. Am I going to get upset because he creates Warriors OCs with messed up genetics or creates unnatural colors and patterns? No, he's a kid. Just because I prefer the natural way doesn't mean I want everyone to as well. Listen, I've had comments in my genetics series from many people asking, according to real-life rules of genetics, if their Warriors OC family would exist in real life. And while I appreciate them asking me because they want to reflect some sort of reality into their characters, I don't want them to change just because my series and real life says they shouldn't exist. And this is where it comes to what I do like about the series, and let me show you. Inspired a lot of creativity. It inspires fan fiction, it inspires roleplay, it inspires new characters, it inspires art, it inspires young people to create. And this is what I actually love about it. And while other series of books have their fans and their artistic creators, never have I seen such variety and interpretation to characters like this. I'm not going to be bitter about not being able to enjoy the series like so many others are. I'm so happy that this can happen because of one series. I know there's a potential movie in the making, possibly, but I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been a movie made yet. And who knows, perhaps I would enjoy the movie if I saw it. We'll see as time goes on. But I hope this helped you understand why I didn't like the series, but I don't hate it. Sometimes people just get so caught up in their fandoms that when they encounter people who don't like the fandom source material and their flaws, they get defensive and angry. And that's what makes us all unique. We all have our different interests and likes. One person can love one book series while another one could love another book series. Yes, there are jerks who bully those in the fandom, but when you encounter someone who doesn't like the series but respects those who do, that's honestly one of the best things you can do. And now if you excuse me, I'm gonna watch some Avatar: The Last Airbender.